Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Frank James Bailey. In this video, I'm going to give you another Kickstarter tip. But before I tell you about the tip, I want to remind you to please subscribe to my channel on YouTube and follow me on TikTok. Leave a comment and like the video as well because every little bit helps. I really appreciate it. And now on with the Kickstarter tip. And today's Kickstarter tip is all about timing. The best and worst times to launch your Kickstarter. Today I'm going to go over what month of the year is the best time to launch your Kickstarter. I'll also go over what time you should launch your Kickstarter as well. Here's a clue. Don't launch it at 3 o'clock in the morning. All right, let's get started. Just so you know, I've been on Kickstarter for a little over 10 years, but I've only launched 4 campaigns. The first 2 failed and the last 2 were successful. My first Kickstarter was for Turkana comic number 4, I believe. I launched it in the summer of 2020. And of course, that was the pandemic year and it's probably why it failed. My second Kickstarter was launched in September for my book, The Taming of April. Now, to be honest, that's a good time to launch a Kickstarter, but for some reason that one failed as well. My last 2 Kickstarters both were launched in April. In 2023, I launched Turkana comic number 7. It was launched in April and it did pretty well. And my Kickstarter for 2024 was for the Olivia wrestling books, Olivia the Mighty Kraken. I also launched that one in April as well. And that one also was successful. Maybe just a weird coincidence, but so far I've been pretty lucky in April launching Kickstarters. After doing some research, I found out that March and April are probably the best times to launch a Kickstarter during the year. But around March and April, people are usually getting their income tax check. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Now, there's a small stipulation about launching your Kickstarter in March and April. A lot of other people are doing the exact same thing because they know March and April is the best time to launch. Now, the second best time to launch is in the summertime, like June and July. Why this is the second best time to launch, I don't know. But according to this chart, that's the second best time to launch a Kickstarter. Now let's talk about the opposite of that. The worst time to launch a Kickstarter. You probably already know this, but it's Christmas time. From the end of November, just after Thanksgiving, to the end of January is probably the worst times to launch a Kickstarter. I share a lot of Kickstarters, and to be honest, it's very hard to share Kickstarters in that time because very few people are launching Kickstarters during Christmas time. All right, now let's talk about the time of day to launch your Kickstarter. I usually launch my Kickstarters about 10, 11 o'clock at night. It turns out that's not the actual best time of the day to launch a Kickstarter. The best time of the day to launch your Kickstarter is around 12 noon, maybe 11 a.m. or 1 p.m., but the best time is 12 noon. The worst time to launch your Kickstarter, as I said earlier, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That's the worst time to launch your Kickstarter. So that's this week's Kickstarter tip. The best and worst times of the year to launch your Kickstarter and the best and worst times of the day to launch your Kickstarter. Hopefully you got some good information from this video. That's all for now. Thanks all for watching, and as always, thank you for your support.